What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, these are, in my opinion, the top 6 teams in the NBA that could possibly win the championship this year. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that these teams will win, but I just don't see any other teams besides these 6 that could possibly win the championship this year. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video of the top 6 teams that I have winning the championship in this order. Number 6 is the Boston Celtics. Now, at the start of this year, nobody had the Celtics doing this good, honestly, including me. Now, I talked to some people and I told them that the East was so wide open and they doubted that the Celtics would be even like a top 6 seed. And I was like, nah, I think they'll honestly be like the top 5 seed, maybe 4. But even I didn't have the Celtics being the 3rd seed in the East at this point in the season. And shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. This guy is averaging an incredible 30 points per game, scoring 50 points, 40 points, 30 points. He's doing everything he can to keep the Celtics afloat. Jaylen Brown is doing all of this while shooting 50% from the field and 38% from the three-point range. And not only that, this is how credible Jaylen Brown is doing and how incredible it is that the Celtics is the 3rd seed currently in the East. Not one single other player besides Jaylen Brown is even averaging over 20 points per game up on that Celtics team. Now, the reason that I have the Celtics all the way at number 6 up on my list is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is without Jason Tatum, I definitely don't see them winning the championship, let alone going to the finals. And number 2, when Jason Tatum come back, we don't know how healthy he'll be and how well he'll fit in with this current Celtics team. Now, number 5 up on my list is the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I know we don't like to give them props, but in my opinion, the Lakers are a top 5 championship team this year. Now, originally up on my list, they would have been like top 4, maybe top 3. But the thing is that it's such a dogfight in the West right now that had the Lakers been in the East, they probably would have been number 1 to make it out of the East. Now, what absolutely cannot be ignored when it comes to the Lakers is that Luka Doncic is averaging 34 points per game. Austin Reeves is averaging 26 points per game. And LeBron James is averaging 21 points per game. So you have 3 guys who can get you a bucket. And yes, LeBron can get you a bucket even at the old age of 41. Like 100%, no one saw this coming. No one assumed that Luka would average 34 points per game. No one assumed that Austin Reeves would average damn near 27 points per game. And no one in their right mind, even at the age of 41, thought LeBron would be the 3rd leading scorer upon the team. But by LeBron being the 3rd leading scorer upon his own team for the first time in his career, and it took 23 years. But yeah, man, like I said, the Lakers is number 5 up on my list for multiple reasons. The first reason is because the West is so stacked. And the second reason is that they have too many guys that can handle the ball, to me, which is fine. But I think if you want to compete for a championship, you need to really figure out who's going to handle the ball and who's going to play off ball and stuff like that. You can't really have too many guys who can take the ball and go one-on-one, because that's what you will see is a lot of one-on-one basketball being played by the Lakers. But like I said, man, I think the Lakers' downfall is that you don't have that one obvious go-to scorer. So, like, you can give Luka Doncic the ball, it wouldn't be a problem. You can give Austin Reeves the ball, it wouldn't be a problem. You can give LeBron the ball, it wouldn't be a problem. But I think the real problem is that when you're facing a team like OKC, who has about at least like 7 great perimeter defenders, you need to do more to get others involved instead of those 3 players, playing one-on-one and stuff like that, because I personally don't think that will work against OKC. Now, I'm not implying that they don't pass the ball, because obviously LeBron and Luka Doncic, they're great passers. But what I'm basically saying is the ball will primarily be up in their hand until they're ready to pass the ball, until they're ready to get an assist, which is basically what an assist is. It's not like great ball movement. It's players dribbling the ball and then passing the ball when their players is up in the right spot. But like I said, when you face a team like OKC, who specialize in perimeter defense, you need to do a little bit more ball movement instead of that one person dribbling the ball and running up the shot clock. That's just my personal opinion. Now, number 4 up on my list is the New York Knicks. Now, personally, the Lakers are a better team than the New York Knicks, But I personally think because the East being so wide open that the Knicks have realistically a better shot of going to the finals and winning the championship than the Lakers do. Now, I personally love the defense of Josh Hart, the defense of OG, and the defense of Mikal Bridges to play behind Jalen Brunson. Now, my problem with the three guys that I just mentioned is that as great as they are as a defender, I just don't think that they do nearly enough consistent scoring for me to trust them among the top three guys or team that I actually have winning the championship this year. Currently, the Knicks are my favorites to come out the East because I really do love the offense of Jalen Brunson and the clutchness of Jalen Brunson, where you have behind him, which is Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby up on the defensive side. And then all the way at the 5, you have Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, number 3 up on my list is the Houston Rockets. Even though you can tell that the Houston Rockets is missing the presence of Fred VanVleet, nonetheless, I still love the height of the Houston Rockets, and you have that one definitive scorer who doesn't do too much to get a bucket. Now, what I mean by that, KD, if you watch KD hoop, he does like little to no dribbling because he knows exactly the spot he want to get to. He don't need to be fancy. He don't need to dribble the shot clock away. He has a very simple game, which is why I really love the way he plays. They have defense just like the OKC Thunder, and they have a bucket getter just like the OKC Thunder. So in my opinion, they have the recipe it takes to actually beat the Thunder. And if you watch the first game of the season, that game was so crazy. That's probably still the best game of the season when it was the Rockets versus the Thunder opening night. But however, the Rockets is still number 3. In my opinion, the number 2 spot is the definitive number 2 behind the number 1 spot. Now, with the number 2 spot being the Denver Nuggets. Sometimes, man, all you need is the best player in the world. Now, the reason that the Denver Nuggets is such a credible threat to the number 1 spot is because Nikola Jokic is so good that teams will rather take his passing away, forgetting that he can give you 55 points. Just go ask the LA Clippers how that worked out for them. But despite everything I said, I think we can all agree that the number 1 spot was ultimately going to come down to the OKC Thunder. Which is why at the beginning of the season, when the OKC was up on their crazy run, I basically said, let's just crown them as the champion. It's like OKC is so good that they're head and shoulders above everybody. Only team that I think can realistically beat the Thunder in a playoff series is the Nuggets. Because like I said, sometimes all it takes is to have the best player up on your team, and then you got a shot no matter who you're going up against. So yeah, man, those is how I will rank the top 6 teams that I personally think have the best chances of winning the championship. Number 6 being the Celtics. Number 5 being the Lakers. Number 4 being the Knicks. Number 3 being the Rockets. Number 2 being the Nuggets. And number 1 being OKC. To pay respect to these teams, I do have a few honorable mentions, with the number 1 mentioning being the San Antonio Spurs. Now, I do like the Spurs and their potential, but from what I'm saying early on, the first problem is Victor Wembanyama seemed to be banged up, and in order to do anything in the West, he needs to be healthy 100%. And the second problem that I'm running into with the Spurs is that they can only seem to match up very well against the Thunder, but not really anyone else in the West. And I think in order to compete in the West, you need to be good against everybody else to even make it to the Thunder, which is why I don't even have them in my top 6. Despite them being, I believe at this point in the recording, I believe they're like the number 2 seed. But despite all of that, Victor Wembanyama haven't really been healthy, and like I said, they seem to only match up very well against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But like I said, in order to get to the Thunder, you need to handle business against everyone else first. And the second honorable mention goes to the Detroit Pistons. Now I know the Detroit Pistons is the first seed in the East. I know, but from what I see, they're a very good young team, but I just strongly believe that they're still a year or two away from actually competing in the East. But yeah, man, I do believe in a season or two, the Pistons will be one of the top 3 teams for a very long time up in the East. Yeah, man, those are the top 6 teams that I believe have the best chances of winning the championship this year. If you agree or disagree, just hit the like button for me, comment, subscribe so I can keep doing more of these videos. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. Peace.